Hey guys, how the heck are you? I know it's been a few weeks or a couple weeks, whatever it's been since I posted a video, but I've been pretty busy. I've been dealing with a lot of my mom's stuff, and then I was just sick this last weekend, and we had a wedding, and I think that was the weekend before, so it's been a busy few weeks. Haven't really done any tractor wrenching. I did get out here for a little bit and do some troubleshooting with the alternator on this case. I'll kind of show you basically what was happening. Let me turn my little flashlight on here. What was happening was, I think it was overheating in higher RPMs because the belt was slipping because I wasn't able to get it tight enough. One of the problems I'm having is this turnbuckle is made of aluminum, so I think I got to get something that's made out of steel and that's a little bit longer, probably an inch longer or so. So if anybody's a machinist or has access to anything like that, all I need is this piece here, and I'd like to get two of them, one for the case here and then one for the John Deere. But if anybody would be willing to help me out with that, that would be great. This end, one end has to be, I'm guessing this is probably 5/16 thread, like 5/16 on this end, and then this end is a left-hand thread, 5/16, but I could double check that if anybody is interested in helping me out. Otherwise, I could probably make it out of hexagonal bar stock or just square stock. That would probably work too. So anyways, that's one issue I was having. Another issue was when putting tension on the alternator, it wanted to twist because it was only being held in place by the one bolt on the back side here. So what I did was I took and made a steel bracket. I'll try and get this, that attaches to this bolt here for the front pedestal, and then it goes inside there to the the mount bolt to prevent this alternator from twisting. So I'm gonna make a better bracket. This was just a piece of steel I had laying around, but I'll get a piece of steel that'll work better, that doesn't have a hole drilled in it here and all that. So, but I got the belt pretty darn tight. It's just this turnbuckle is pretty much maxed out, and I don't want to strip out this aluminum turnbuckle trying to get any more tension out of it. So that's kind of where we're sitting there. Oh, I also had to move this bracket I made here is slotted on one end, and I also had to move the turnbuckle down an inch to give more tension. So I think if I put a turnbuckle in here that's another inch or maybe even an inch and a half longer, I can bring this back up, which will give me more room here for clearance on the alternator. So it'll bring this up at a bigger angle or at a steeper pitch. That'll get the turnbuckle away from the cooling fan and everything on the alternator. So that's one thing I've just had a little bit of time to work on here. So you guys can see a little bit inside there. But the other thing, of course, I've been nosing around on Craigslist and some of the Facebook for sale sites and looking at projects and stuff I don't have room for or time for right now, but I've been looking around just to see what's out there. But been focusing a lot on getting this townhouse kind of cleaned up and touched up so that we can put it in on the market here in the spring. My goal is to have it on the market by March 1st. So, and hopefully we'll be out by the end of June. But who knows? We'll see. Another thing that I've got an update on, the F20. If you guys remember back, it was probably, well, it was right after the show, back in August, the Nowthen Threshing Show. One of the tubes blew in the tire, so while it was sitting on the trailer after we left. So I got 2 new tubes, and I also got 2 brand new rear tires. Found them on eBay. I think I paid $165 a piece for them out of Virginia, I think it was. But then I had to pay truck freight shipping to get them here. But even at $165 a piece, I saved about $200 over my local tire shop. So that's a project that'll probably have to wait till spring, just because changing tires in the cold is really difficult. So especially when you're doing it by hand. But that's the F20, the John Deere. Well, it's pretty much just been sitting, and the case has been sitting. I haven't test run it or anything since I've messed with this belt. But if I could get a couple of those turnbuckles made out of steel, you know, square stock or hex stock, that would be really awesome. But the third thing, this air compressor. I've been kind of wondering why I haven't been able to get more than probably 105 to 110 psi out of it. But the reason is, I think this regulator is probably like a 90 to 120 psi regulator. So I've been going back and forth to Home Depot because this was a Husky tank when I picked it up. So I got the model number off the tank, and the motor and pump setup is essentially the same. I think this is a 3 horsepower motor. What came on here from factory was a 3.7, so it'll do just fine. But I'm gonna get all of the fittings and lines, gauges, relief valve, and regulator. I'm gonna get all that from Home Depot, brand new, and I'm gonna set it up exactly the way it would be on the show floor. So that way I should be able to get, you know, 145 to 150 psi out of it. And 155 is the max, but I'm guessing the pop-off valve will go before you hit 155. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing with this. I don't know if you guys remember when I built this air compressor, but I only got about $100 into it, and that's mostly just for fittings and the belt and the tank. The tank I paid $75 for, so I only got like $110 into this thing, and I can get all brand new regulators, gauges, you know, all of that for, I think it was like $150 or $130. So I'm just going to do that, because either way, that's a $500 compressor that I'm, even with all the new stuff on it that I'm going to purchase, I'll only have $250 into it, so $260. So that thing will last quite a long time the way I've got it. So other than that, I did get everybody that sent me license plates. I've got them all hung up, and I've got them all kind of alphabetized. So I got to give a big shout out to Owen again. He sent me a large number of his old, I shouldn't call them old, but back issues of Red Power magazine. So huge shout out to him. I've been learning a lot reading through those magazines. So it's really cool some of the experimental stuff that International did back in the day, like the transition between the F series and the letter series tractors and stuff like that. So let's see, anything else I could tell you. Over the weekend I did, well, like I said, I've been trying to spruce this place up a little bit. Painted the master bedroom. I've got to replace some flooring by the front door, and then just do some touch-up painting before we put it on the market. But over the weekend we also went to a friend of mine's in Wisconsin. He's got a large number of parts and parts tractors, and Brigham, the younger gentleman that has that 1950A that I call Time Bomb, that we went out and got some parts for him, and he's got pretty much everything he needs, but he does need to have the block board that he picked up, because he's got a new set of, or a good use set of 90 over pistons, and then a new set of rings. But he needs to have the block board because it's a standard bore block, so he'll have to send that to the machine shop to get it bored. But other than that, I think he's probably just needing gaskets, and I think he needs the oil filter housing assembly. So, and that's pretty sure that's pressed into the bottom of the crankcase. But I think that's it, really. If you guys got any ideas for videos, shoot me a holler. Otherwise, it's been pretty cold and wintry like around here. We've been getting snow off and on every few days for the last, well, since like October 25th roughly. So it's been pretty cold and wet and gloomy, and I've been busy, and my fiance's been busy, and oh, I guess that's another thing. We finally booked our wedding. So in May we will be tying the knot. So finally, we've been engaged for be 4 years next August. So we've been engaged a long time, and it's been a long time coming, but finally going to tie the knot, and then hopefully we'll be into a house shortly thereafter with a pole barn. So that's kind of the plan. I don't really have much else for you. I know it's not really a wrenching video or a tractor drive video or anything like that, but that's pretty much what I got. So hope you guys are all doing well. Hope the Halloween treated everybody well, and Veterans Day, happy Veterans Day to everybody who has served, will serve, and is serving. So I've got lots of friends, family, and coworkers that are all you know, veterans, and can't thank them enough. You know, they put their lives on the line to fight in some of the worst places on the earth. So just so we can sit here and watch these videos and make these videos for each other. So big thanks to all the veterans out there. But that's all I got. I don't know what else to say. But anyways, hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, if I don't talk to you between now and then, and stay tuned. Take care.